As a soldier yourself, are you shocked and surprised by the mess they're leaving behind? And I mean in terms of human life, the awful pictures that have come out in the last 24 hours showing what look like civilians who have been shot, murdered on the streets. Does that shock or surprise you, or was it something that was going to inevitably happen?
I think, sadly, it's inevitable. I mean, we've rather become immune to serious war fighting in the West. I mean, we've seen elements of it, obviously, in Iraq and Afghanistan and so on. But any war is, inevitably chaos, uncertainty, and death and destruction. That's the bottom line. And I'm not. Therefore, to be honest, I'm not shocked. I think this war will continue for quite a while yet. Whether it deteriorates, in inverted commas, into a counterinsurgency campaign, as it's been in the East, really, for the last 8 years, or whether it develops into something more than that, more open war fighting, I don't know. But the Russians, I think, will try and envelop the Ukrainians in the East. And I'm afraid when you're into this long-range artillery, air attack, cruise missiles, etc., the inevitability is an awful lot of people get hurt. And that's the reality. That's the reality of war in Syria. It's been the reality of war, obviously, in World War II, places like Korea, and so on. We just tend to forget that. And we in the West have been, pretty immune from all of this for quite a long time now.
Yes, I mean, the other big issue is rules of engagement, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, Russia's rules of engagement are not the same as ours.
No, they're not. No, they're not. I mean, any military organization involved in a campaign like this, things will go wrong. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all flawed human beings. I often say the British Army is deeply flawed because it's made up of people like me. But the intent of the British Army is always to comply with the laws of armed conflict, the Geneva Conventions, the rules of engagement, and so on. And we spend a lot of time looking at those, and people literally carry in their pockets, places like Northern Ireland and elsewhere, what are the rules of engagement? What can you and can you not do? I'm afraid the Russians are not interested in that sort of thing. They're just only interested in causing as much mayhem as they can in order to try and bring Ukraine to the negotiating table and give up territory. Now, I have to say, it is not all that the Russians are bad and the Ukrainians are good. I mean, that's inevitably the way the media portrays it. But sadly, the Ukrainian military will be doing, bad things too. But that's the nature of warfare, and I'm afraid that's what we're going to see coming out of this, in the weeks and months ahead.